Positive affirmations are simple, powerful statements that can profoundly influence our mindset and emotional well-being. At their core, affirmations are words we consciously choose to repeat to ourselves, intended to reinforce positive beliefs or challenge negative ones. While they might seem like mere words on the surface, affirmations have a deep psychological impact. Through consistent practice, positive affirmations help shape our perceptions of ourselves and our experiences, creating a mental framework that supports confidence, resilience, and emotional growth. Many of us have a continuous inner dialogue that plays in our minds each day. This dialogue isn't always kind, in fact. It's often filled with self-criticism, doubt, and fear. Over time, negative thoughts can become ingrained, leading us to believe stories about ourselves that may be limiting or even false. Statements like "I'm not good enough, I always fail," or "I don't deserve happiness" can run on a loop, shaping how we view our capabilities and potential. These thoughts don't just sit idly in our minds, they influence our behavior, decisions, and relationships. Negative self-talk, repeated enough, becomes a habit. It lowers self-esteem, fosters anxiety, and can create mental clutter that makes life feel overwhelming. Here is where positive affirmations come in, offering an opportunity to shift this mental narrative. Affirmations act as a mental reset button, giving us a way to challenge harmful thinking patterns. When we replace "I'm not enough" with "I am enough," or "I can't do this" with "I am capable," we start to reprogram the way we think. Positive affirmations offer a tangible, practical way to shift our mindset towards self-love, empowerment, and resilience. Research has shown that positive affirmations activate certain areas of the brain, particularly those associated with reward and self-processing. This neural activation suggests that affirmations don't just affect us on a surface level, they work on a deeper level, helping our brains to reinforce self-worth and confidence. Neuroscientists believe that as we repeat affirmations over time, our brain begins to respond as though the positive statements are true, which leads to improved self-image and an enhanced capacity for coping with stress. Another important benefit of affirmations is that they help us foster a growth mindset. When we embrace positive language about ourselves, we start to see challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than as threats to our self-worth. A person who says "I learn from my mistakes" instead of "I always mess up" is more likely to face setbacks with resilience, seeing each failure as a stepping stone toward success. This shift in perspective allows us to approach life's difficulties with a sense of curiosity and determination rather than fear. Over time, this mindset becomes ingrained, and affirmations transform from simple statements into a guiding philosophy. Daily affirmations help create consistency in our mental practice. Just as physical exercise strengthens the body over time, affirmations strengthen our mindset. By taking a few moments each day to repeat positive statements, we form a habit of self-kindness and optimism that counterbalances the stresses of daily life. Imagine the effects of beginning each day with affirmations like "I am worthy," "I am in control of my happiness," or "I am grateful for this moment." These statements set a positive tone, enabling us to start the day with confidence and mindfulness. Using affirmations in our daily routine doesn't only impact how we feel in the moment, it influences our long-term mental health. Over time, practicing affirmations can lower stress levels, improve focus, and even boost our immune system. When our thoughts are less cluttered with negativity, we're more at ease, more motivated, and more connected to the present. The effects spill over into our relationships, work, and overall well-being. Affirmations help us to become more accepting of ourselves, which naturally makes us more compassionate and understanding toward others. One way to make affirmations more powerful is by connecting them with visualization. When we visualize what we are affirming, we create a vivid mental picture that reinforces the message. For instance, if someone affirms "I am successful," they might imagine themselves achieving a goal or celebrating a win. This visualization technique deepens the impact of the affirmation, helping the mind to accept it as true. Our minds are wired to respond to images and stories, so combining affirmations with visualization adds another layer of mental reinforcement. There are different ways to use affirmations, and it's important to find a method that feels genuine. Some people prefer to speak affirmations out loud, as hearing the words gives them a sense of power and conviction. Others write them down in journals, which allows them to reflect more deeply on the words. There are even affirmation apps and guided affirmation videos that help people practice regularly. The key is consistency, and sincerity. Affirmations work best when they're repeated with intention and a genuine belief in their potential. At first, affirmations may feel unnatural or even uncomfortable. For those of us who are used to a lot of self-criticism, saying something positive about ourselves might feel strange or untrue. But this is where the power of repetition comes in. Over time, as we continue to repeat these positive statements, our minds become more accustomed to seeing ourselves in a positive light. It may take time, but with consistency, affirmations begin to feel authentic, and we start to notice subtle shifts in our thinking and self-image. While positive affirmations aren't a substitute for therapy or other forms of mental health support, they are a valuable tool for improving our mental state. They help us cultivate self-awareness, build resilience, and foster a kinder, more compassionate inner dialogue. Each time we use affirmations, we take a step toward clearing our mental space, shedding the weight of negativity and making room for self-belief. In essence, positive affirmations are a powerful yet simple way to support mental well-being. They help us break free from negative thought patterns, instill a sense of empowerment, and promote a positive self-image. Through affirmations, we gain control over our mental landscape, turning it into a place where we feel safe, valued, and capable. It's a practice that doesn't take much time but can have lasting, transformative effects on our lives. The words we use shape our mindset in profound ways. They act as a filter through which we experience the world and form our beliefs, values, and understanding of ourselves and others. Every thought we have and every word we use contributes to the mental landscape we inhabit. When we make positive, intentional language a part of our daily lives, we begin to see shifts in our perspective, resilience, and emotional well-being. This isn't just about thinking positive, it's about understanding that the language we choose helps to create the beliefs we carry, which in turn shape our actions and ultimately our experiences. Our inner dialogue, the thoughts and words we continuously cycle through in our minds, has a direct impact on how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. When our inner voice is compassionate and encouraging, it strengthens our self-worth and empowers us to take on new challenges with confidence. Conversely, when that dialogue is filled with self-doubt, harsh criticism, or defeatist language, it limits us. Repeatedly telling ourselves, "I can't do this," or "I always mess things up," can create mental barriers that make it difficult to move forward, even in areas where we are fully capable. The impact of words on mindset is something psychologists have studied extensively. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for example, is based on the idea that our thoughts directly affect our emotions and behaviors. By identifying and changing negative thought patterns, we can improve our mental health. This idea reinforces the notion that changing the words we use, especially in how we talk to ourselves, can change our overall perspective. Reframing statements from "I'll never get this right" to "I'm still learning," and "I can improve" may seem subtle, but these small changes build resilience and open us to growth. When we choose words that reflect kindness, optimism, and patience, we create an inner environment where growth and healing can thrive. One reason words have such a powerful effect on mindset is that they shape our core beliefs. Beliefs aren't simply thoughts we have, they're often assumptions about ourselves and the world that we accept as fact. These beliefs usually begin to form in childhood and are influenced by the language used by our parents, teachers, and peers. For example, a child who repeatedly hears "you're so smart" may grow up with the belief that they are indeed capable and intelligent. Conversely, a child who often hears negative remarks like "you'll never be good at this" may internalize a sense of inadequacy. The language we use, especially in our formative years, creates a foundation for our self-identity. As adults, we have the power to revisit and reshape these beliefs by consciously choosing words that support a positive self-concept. Language doesn't just shape our view of ourselves, it also impacts how we perceive challenges and setbacks. When we face obstacles, our words determine whether we see them as threats or opportunities for growth. A person who uses language that reflects resilience, such as "this is tough, but I'm learning," is more likely to bounce back from failure and try again. On the other hand, someone who thinks in terms of defeat, "I can't handle this," or "I always fail," may be more likely to give up. This is because our words affect our emotional responses to difficult situations. Positive, empowering language can help us approach challenges with patience and courage, while negative language can trigger stress and anxiety. One of the most important elements in this process is intention. When we use words that reflect our aspirations and values, we remind ourselves of the person we want to be. For example, if someone wants to become more patient, they might incorporate words like "I am calm" or "I am in control" into their inner dialogue. Repeating these phrases, especially during stressful moments, reinforces their intention to cultivate patience. Over time, this intentional language shapes behavior, helping that person develop a calmer, more resilient mindset. The key is to choose words that align with our goals and values, as these will serve as mental cues, guiding us toward the person we wish to become. An important concept in this process is the idea of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. When we use positive language and affirmations regularly, we essentially train our brains to recognize and reinforce these thought patterns. Neuroplasticity shows that the brain is malleable, meaning we can reshape our mindset over time. With consistent positive language, we can reduce the influence of negative self-talk and gradually shift to a more optimistic, growth-oriented mindset. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with patience, we can retrain our minds to favor language that encourages self-compassion and resilience. The words we use don't just impact our inner world, they also affect our relationships and interactions with others. When we choose words that reflect kindness, empathy, and respect, we create an atmosphere of trust and openness. This not only strengthens our connections with others, but also reinforces a sense of community and support. Conversely, when we use harsh or judgmental language, it can strain our relationships, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts. By choosing words that reflect understanding and compassion, we cultivate a mindset that values connection and mutual respect. To put this into practice, we can start by being mindful of the words we use each day, both in our inner dialogue and our interactions with others. This mindfulness can reveal patterns of negative language that may have gone unnoticed. Once we become aware of these patterns, we can replace them with positive, supportive words. For instance, instead of saying "I have to" when approaching a challenging task, we might say "I choose to" or "I get to." This shift, though small, reframes the task as a choice rather than a burden, making it easier to approach with a positive attitude. Another technique is to practice gratitude as a form of positive language. When we regularly express gratitude, we train our minds to focus on the positive aspects of our lives, rather than dwelling on what's lacking. By saying "I am grateful for today" or "I appreciate the support I have," we create a mindset of abundance and fulfillment. Gratitude reinforces positive thinking and strengthens our resilience, helping us to face life's challenges with a sense of perspective. In essence, words are a powerful tool in shaping our mindset. They influence how we see ourselves, others, and the world around us. By choosing words that reflect kindness, resilience, and self-compassion, we can create a mental environment that supports growth, happiness, and inner peace. While it requires practice and patience, the process of reshaping our language and, in turn, our mindset is one of the most empowering steps we can take toward a healthier, more fulfilling life. The idea that daily practice transforms thoughts is rooted in the understanding that our brains are incredibly adaptable, capable of evolving with repetition and intentionality. Our daily thoughts, often unnoticed, significantly impact our mood, behavior, and outlook. They build up over time, becoming patterns or habits that shape our identity and view of the world. When we consciously choose to replace negative, limiting thoughts with positive and empowering ones, this daily practice can reshape our mindset, creating lasting changes in our mental state and overall quality of life. To begin, it's essential to understand how thought patterns work. Much like other habits, the thoughts we think repeatedly become ingrained in our minds. Each thought reinforces a neural pathway, making it easier to revisit the same thought in the future. Over time, these pathways create what can be seen as a mental blueprint, a set of beliefs and assumptions we hold about ourselves and the world. If these habitual thoughts are positive, they can foster confidence, optimism, and resilience. However, if they're negative, they can lead to self-doubt, anxiety, and fear. Daily practice allows us to replace old, unhelpful thought patterns with new ones that serve us better, promoting well-being and a sense of personal empowerment. One of the most effective ways to transform thoughts is through daily affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that reflect our goals, values, and self-beliefs. By repeating affirmations daily, we reinforce these ideas, gradually rewiring our thought patterns. For example, someone who struggles with self-doubt might use affirmations like "I am capable" or "I believe in myself." Initially, these statements may feel unfamiliar or even false, but over time, with daily repetition, they start to feel more natural and believable. This process, known as cognitive restructuring, helps shift our beliefs about ourselves, making us more inclined to act in ways that align with these positive affirmations. Visualization is another daily practice that effectively transforms thoughts. Visualization involves mentally picturing a desired outcome as vividly as possible, focusing on the emotions, sensations, and details associated with success. For instance, if someone wants to improve their confidence in public speaking, they might spend a few minutes each day visualizing themselves speaking confidently in front of an audience, imagining the sense of accomplishment and pride they would feel. Visualization helps create a mental rehearsal, allowing the brain to become familiar with the positive outcome. This familiarity makes it easier to believe that such outcomes are achievable, thus encouraging us to act in ways that bring them to life. Mindfulness meditation is also a powerful daily practice for transforming thoughts. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts without judgment, recognizing them as temporary and not necessarily reflective of reality. This practice helps us become aware of negative thought patterns without getting caught up in them. By consistently practicing mindfulness, we can learn to question and reframe unhelpful thoughts. If a thought like "I'm not good enough" arises, mindfulness allows us to acknowledge it without accepting it as truth. With time, we can replace this thought with a more constructive one, such as "I am learning and growing." Daily mindfulness helps us develop a more compassionate and resilient mindset, one that is less affected by temporary emotions or self-doubt. Journaling is another practical tool that can transform our thoughts over time. When we take a few minutes each day to write about our thoughts and feelings, we gain clarity and self-awareness. Journaling allows us to identify recurring negative thoughts and challenge them. We can use our journal to reframe these thoughts or explore where they come from. For example, if we notice a pattern of self-criticism, we might explore its origins and then replace these critical thoughts with kinder, more supportive ones. Journaling offers a private space for self-reflection, helping us process emotions and cultivate a more positive inner dialogue. Gratitude practice is a particularly effective daily habit for transforming thoughts. When we focus on things we're grateful for, we train our minds to notice the positive aspects of our lives. This shift in focus helps to balance out negative thoughts and creates a more optimistic outlook. By writing down 3 things we're grateful for each day, no matter how small, we reinforce a mindset of appreciation. Over time, this practice helps us to develop a greater sense of contentment and reduces the tendency to dwell on what's lacking or stressful. Gratitude rewires our brains to see positivity, making us more resilient to challenges and setbacks. Repetition is a key element in the daily practice of transforming thoughts. Our brains are not designed to change overnight, especially when it comes to thoughts that have been reinforced over years or even decades. When we engage in these practices every day, we create the consistency needed for change. Think of it like learning a new skill. Just as learning to play a musical instrument or speak a new language requires daily practice, reshaping our thought patterns does too. Each day, we strengthen the neural pathways associated with positive thinking and weaken those linked to negativity. With persistence, this consistency makes positive thinking more natural and automatic. To support this transformation, it's also helpful to surround ourselves with positive influences. The people we spend time with, the media we consume, and the environment we're in all contribute to our mental state. By choosing to spend time with encouraging, optimistic people, we reinforce positive thought patterns. Similarly, consuming inspiring books, podcasts, or videos can fill our minds with empowering ideas that counteract negativity. Our environment and interactions play a significant role in supporting our daily practice, helping us maintain the mindset we're working to develop. It's important to be patient and gentle with ourselves as we engage in this practice. Negative thought patterns often take years to form, so it's natural that they won't disappear immediately. Some days may feel easier than others, and setbacks are normal. However, by maintaining our daily practice, we build resilience and self-compassion, which are essential for long-term change. Each day's effort, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture of transformation. Over time, we may start to notice subtle shifts, feeling more hopeful, being kinder to ourselves, or approaching challenges with greater ease. These small signs of progress remind us that change is happening, even if it's gradual. In summary, daily practice is a powerful tool for transforming thoughts. Through affirmations, visualization, mindfulness, journaling, and gratitude, we actively reshape our mindset, building new habits that support positivity and resilience. This practice may seem small at first, but with time it becomes a cornerstone of our mental and emotional well-being. By dedicating a few minutes each day to nurturing positive thoughts, we take control of our mental landscape, creating a mindset that fosters confidence, happiness, and inner peace. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth, one that transforms not only our thoughts but also our lives. Creating a mental safe space is an essential practice for maintaining emotional well-being, clarity, and resilience in a world that often feels fast-paced and overwhelming. A mental safe space is an internal environment where we feel secure, calm, and supported, free from self-judgment, criticism, or external pressures. It's a sanctuary we create within our own minds that allows us to process our thoughts, feelings, and experiences without fear. This mental space is an invaluable tool, providing a foundation of stability that we can turn to whenever life's challenges become difficult to navigate. It is a place where we can rest, reflect, and recharge, enabling us to face the world with renewed strength and optimism. One of the key aspects of creating a mental safe space is learning to cultivate self-compassion. Many of us have been conditioned to be critical of ourselves, setting high expectations and berating ourselves when we fall short. This inner critic can make our mental environment feel hostile, amplifying stress and reducing our ability to cope. Self-compassion is the antidote to this. By treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend, we can build a supportive, understanding relationship with ourselves. This means acknowledging our struggles, validating our feelings, and reminding ourselves that it's okay to make mistakes. Self-compassion fosters a sense of safety in our minds, allowing us to approach challenges with grace rather than fear or shame. Over time, it builds a mental safe space where we feel accepted no matter what we're going through. To create this safe space, it's also essential to manage our inner dialogue and replace negative self-talk with gentle, supportive language. Our inner dialogue has a significant influence on how safe we feel in our own minds. If our thoughts are full of harsh criticism or self-doubt, our mental space feels restrictive and judgmental. On the other hand, when we replace these thoughts with words of encouragement and understanding, we build an environment that feels safe and open. For example, if we make a mistake, we can consciously choose to say, "I'm learning from this," instead of "I always mess things up over time." This shift in language helps to transform our inner world, making it a place of safety rather than one of criticism. Mindfulness is another powerful tool for creating a mental safe space. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without attaching to them or allowing them to define us. Practicing mindfulness means staying present, noticing our thoughts, and letting them pass without judgment. It helps us develop a watchful state where we observe our inner experiences with curiosity instead of fear or resistance. This mental distance allows us to process difficult emotions in a healthy way, as we learn not to be overwhelmed by them. Instead, we recognize them as temporary states that will eventually pass. This perspective creates a sense of calm and safety, helping us navigate even the most intense emotions without feeling lost or vulnerable. Another way to nurture this mental sanctuary is by setting aside time for regular self-reflection. Reflection allows us to process our emotions and understand our responses to various situations. By setting aside time each day or week to journal, meditate, or simply think, we create a safe container for our feelings and thoughts. During these reflective periods, we can explore what's on our mind without judgment or distraction. Reflection provides the opportunity to understand our needs and identify areas where we might need extra support or self-care. In this way, self-reflection is a foundational practice for creating a mental safe space, as it allows us to process life's experiences in a calm, thoughtful way, freeing us from the clutter of unresolved emotions. Boundaries are also vital in maintaining a mental safe space. Mental boundaries help us distinguish between what's ours to manage and what isn't. Many people struggle with absorbing the emotions, expectations, or judgments of others, which can cloud their mental space and make it feel crowded or unsafe. By setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, distancing ourselves from toxic influences, and managing our exposure to stressful media or conversations, we protect our mental safe space. Boundaries remind us that our mental space is precious, and that it's okay to prioritize our well-being by limiting external stressors. Another essential component of a mental safe space is practicing gratitude. When we focus on gratitude, we train our minds to notice and appreciate the positives in our lives, which can be grounding and reassuring. Gratitude shifts our perspective, reminding us of the stability, support, and love we already have. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or difficulties, rather, it means recognizing the good that coexists with the hard parts of life. A regular gratitude practice, such as listing 3 things we're grateful for each day, helps create a mental safe space by focusing on abundance and hope rather than scarcity and fear. Gratitude acts as a gentle reminder that we are supported, which enhances our sense of safety and security. Visualization can be another powerful tool in building this mental safe haven. Visualization involves creating a mental image of a place, person, or scene that brings us peace and comfort. This could be an image of a beach, a forest, or even a place from childhood that made us feel safe. Visualizing this safe place gives us an anchor to return to when life feels overwhelming. By mentally retreating to this space, we activate a sense of calm and reassurance that helps to reset our mindset and reduce stress. Visualization not only allows us to escape to a safe place in times of stress, but also reinforces our ability to create safety within ourselves. Creating a mental safe space also involves accepting our emotions rather than suppressing or judging them. Emotions are natural responses, and by acknowledging them without fear, we give ourselves permission to feel without adding extra layers of judgment. Instead of thinking, "I shouldn't feel this way," we can say, "This is how I feel right now." And it's okay allowing ourselves to feel and process our emotions as they arise creates a sense of internal safety and stability. It reminds us that we don't need to fear our emotions. Instead, we can experience them in a way that is healthy and constructive. In creating a mental safe space, we cultivate resilience and well-being. This safe space becomes a foundation that supports us through life's ups and downs, providing a refuge where we can recharge and find perspective. While we cannot control every aspect of the world around us, we can control how we relate to ourselves. By nurturing a mental environment of self-compassion, boundaries, gratitude, and mindfulness, we create a space within that is unshakable. It's a place where we can always return, knowing that we are safe, accepted, and enough just as we are. This space becomes a source of strength, allowing us to move through life with confidence and peace.